Welcome back. In this video, let's look at a few pieces of code which can throw different kinds of exceptions. The first one which we'll be looking at is 1 by 0. What do you think will happen? It says 0 division error. What we are trying to do is divide by 0. And as you know, the result of this is undefined. And that's why an error is thrown, 0 division error. So if I had a variable of I with a value of 0 and I'm saying j is equal to 10 by I, what would happen? 0 division error. Earlier we looked at this one as well. So 2 plus 2, we are trying to add a string 2 with a number 2. What would happen? It says type error. I don't know how to add a int and a string. Let's create a simple set of values 1 comma I'm creating a list with these values and I'm saying sum of values. What would happen? Again the same error. What it's trying to do, this sum of values, is trying to add them up and it says okay, I don't know how to add int and a string. Let's now try to access a variable which is not yet defined, value. What would happen? It says name error. A name value is not defined yet. Earlier we created a list called values. So on the values, let's call property which is not really existing. So I'm trying to say values dot non-existing thing. What would happen? It throws something called list does not have an attribute non-existing. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to retrieve a variable, a non-existing variable from values, and this throws an attribute error. And the same thing happens if I'm trying to call a non-existing method. So what I'm doing in here is trying to call a method, and you'd see that this would also throw a attribute error. So whether I'm using a non-existing variable or I'm trying to call a non-existing method, I would get an attribute error. 0 division error, type error, name error, attribute error. All these are different kinds of exceptions that are defined in Python. If you want to see the complete list of exceptions in Python, we can import the built-in module in and we can do a help on built-ins. You'd see at the top are classes and you'd see there is a class called base exception from which exception inherits, and after that is a set of errors. The one which we looked at earlier is 0 division error. You can see that 0 division error inherits from arithmetic error, which inherits from exception, which inherits from base exception, which inherits from object. So that's kind of the entire hierarchy, and if you keep going down, you'd see other errors as well. You see assertion error, and if you use the down arrow, you'd be able to see all the other errors which are present in Python by default. So you can see the name error present in here as well. You also have indentation error and tab error. What we looked at in this specific video is the different kinds of errors that are present in Python. We also looked at a high level, the hierarchy of exceptions. We will talk about this a little more in the subsequent videos. For now, let's get out of this by typing :Q. As soon as you type Q, it would get out of it. So the way we got in was help built-ins, and if you type in Q here, it would get out of it. I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye bye.